It's time for the title decider, the championship game at La Fonteta for the Adidas Next Generation Tournament, the best youth basketball competition in Europe, and it is no less than a Classico for this encounter to be crowned champions of Europe in the ANGT. FC Barcelona against Real Madrid. What better occasion could we have? Two bitter rivals. I'm Andy West, delighted to be joined by Dane Arlaucus. And just to make it clear, Dane, we're not bitter rivals. I was meaning Barcelona and Real Madrid.
No,
great to have you alongside.
Sometimes we go at it, but when these two go at it a bit more fiercely on the court, then that's what we're expecting for 40 minutes. These two teams, Barcelona, a fantastic defensive team, but in the last two games, their offense has really led the way, led by this man right there, Michael Caicedo, and what a fantastic game he had against Mega yesterday during the afternoon. That was the third game. It was a decisive game. It was the game to get into the playoffs. So really, this is a second final in a row for 2 days for Barcelona.
Yeah, it was effectively a semi-final, that game. It was the last game of the group stage. Barca against Mega Belgrade, but effectively a semi-final. They both went into the game 2-0, joint top of their groups, and it was an incredibly pulsating game. Mega were up by 11 in the final quarter, but then, as you say, Caicedo with 23 points and 11 rebounds inspired a comeback. Real Madrid, they had a tough game of their own in the group against Asvel, which they won by 2. Other than that, they claimed fairly comfortable wins against Žalgiris Kaunas and Crvena Zvezda MTS Belgrade, and their star has been Elliot Ndiaye, an absolute powerhouse. He has averaged 19.7 points and 14.7 rebounds in this competition. In that game against Asvel, he had 30 points and 15 rebounds. He is absolutely key for Real Madrid, but we will see now the full rosters, starting with Barcelona, along with Michael Caicedo, as Dane mentioned. The key man inside is James Nagy, who is a shot blocking machine. He averages 4.3 blocks per game in this tournament. In the backcourt, the leader is Rafa Villar. Doesn't score much, but orchestrates the team and leads the play, and the energy of the Mexican Gael Bonilla. For Real Madrid, a couple of players on that roster that aren't here, Tristan Vukcevic and Juan Núñez, have been called up for Real Madrid's senior team for their playoffs. So big responsibility, Dane, for number 7, Urban Klavzar, who stepped up into the point guard role yesterday after the departure of Núñez and produced big with 22 points, including 6 three-pointers. He'll have to have another big game for Madrid.
Well, that's what this contest comes all down to. This matchup right here, Barca's defense is going to put a lot of pressure on Real Madrid's ball handlers because their primary ball handler is now with the first team playing against Valencia, as a matter of fact. So they'll be at this stadium here in a little while. Núñez returning in just a few days. But Klavzar had an excellent game shooting. Ball handling, he didn't really have to be spectacular with anything because Crvena Zvezda isn't quite the type of defensive team that Barcelona is. Today, their ball handling will be put to the test. Klavzar's going to be the man. He's going to play a lot of minutes because they aren't too deep at the point guard position. Barcelona, we saw them yesterday. They pressured one of the best offensive teams in Mega that we've seen in this tournament in the last few years. So a lot of responsibility on Klavzar's shoulders today. He handled it yesterday. How does he do in the final?
And of course, we can't take away the pressure of this event. It is a final, it's also a Classico. These two are arch rivals, of course, but in this particular tournament, they haven't played each other very often. Since the tournament was founded in 2002, there have only been 5 meetings between Barca and Real Madrid in the ANGT. None of them were in the championship game. Most recently, they met in 2016. Real Madrid have actually won the last 2 meetings. Barca won the 3 before that. The next to last win for Madrid was in January 2015 when they claimed a big win over Barca with a leading performance from a player, what's his name, I think? Luka...
Hold on, wait. Yeah.
Luka Doncic.
He's playing with Dallas, right?
That's the kind of caliber of performer we've seen in this competition in the past. And we are moments away from tip-off. Saulius Rasis leads the officials for this game. One stat for me, Dane, that really stands out is Barcelona's rebounding. Insane rebounding numbers, 57.7 per game they average. Real Madrid have got to find a way of competing under the boards, as we see the Barca coach Fabián Tellez, that's actually the assistant Carlos Marin, but Fabián Tellez is leading Barca on the sidelines with Miguel López, the Real Madrid coach. How do Madrid compete with Barca in terms of rebounding?
Well, obviously you have Elian Dye, which he's going to have to be big. 14 rebounds a game for him over the course of the last 3 days. Who's going to help him out, though? They've got guys like Henry Visar. He's big, he's strong. He can add some height, add some dynamic down low for Real Madrid on the boards. And then you look at a guy who can, Mr. Do-It-Everything in Konstantin Konstantinov. He is an excellent three-point shooter. He can bang down low. He can take you off the dribble. But defensively and on the rebounding end, he hasn't really needed to do much because Elian Dye has been so good over the last 3 days underneath the board. So it's going to be a group effort collectively going against this awfully aggressive Barcelona side.
And Ndiaye up against Nagy is a huge battle inside. Ndiaye with 19.7 points per game for Real Madrid. He can shoot from distance, but most of those come from close to the basket. But Nagy's shot blocking is phenomenal, including the very last play of yesterday's game against Mega when Barca were leading by 2. Mega's star player Nikola Jovic had a shot to tie the game and forced overtime, and Nagy was there to swat it away on the final buzzer. As we see the starting 5 for Barcelona, they'll be led in the backcourt by Rafa Villar with Ian Granja, Iñaki Ordóñez and Michael Caicedo, complemented by Nagy, who is a tower of strength inside. And for Real Madrid, Urban Clavza will lead the backcourt with Cedric Garuba, the brother of Real Madrid first-team player Usman Garuba. The other starters, Konstantin Kostadinov, Baba Miller, and Eli Ndiaye. So right from the opening tip, we're going to see that battle between Ndiaye and Nagy.
Well, of course, but interesting for Coach Miguel López that he's going with Baba Miller, so a guy with some size down low. He hasn't been too productive on the offensive end. Defensively, he's going to be in for his size to try to help on the rebounding end for Real Madrid against this awfully powerful boarding side that is Barcelona.
Barca play with such intensity, and one thing you'd think they will try to do is put pressure on Urban Clavza immediately in the backcourt, not allow him to settle. As we see, there is the Barca coach Fabián Tellez.
Well, that man for me won the game against Mega yesterday. He switched to a 2-3 zone, down 11, an extended 2-3 zone, and shut Jovic and the rest of that Mega juggernaut on the offensive end down. And really, he's going to have to do something today to offset Clavza, to offset Real Madrid. And I can't predict what he's going to do because that 2-3 was really just out of thin air. But today, I'm sure he's got something up his sleeve for this Real Madrid side that has been shortened over the last couple days.
And that win for Barca yesterday is bound to give them a huge motivational lift and boosting confidence. They were down by 11 against a hugely talented Mega team, down by 11 in the fourth quarter, but the way they came back and stopped that Jovic and the rest of them was hugely impressive and will make them really believe they can win today.
Well, let's see the effects coming into today. If they are tired, if they're worn out after a long, drawn-out game against Mega, we'll see that in the opening seconds.
Come on, these are teenagers. They're not they're not tired.
Yeah,
they can't wait. They play all day.
You and me would be laid up for 2 weeks after this tournament. These guys are ready for another one after today.
They want to play tomorrow. But first, here we go. Championship game underway. Barcelona win the opening tip. But we'll have to start again because the game clock did not start. So a false start. That's irritating for the players, but maybe settles them in a way as well, in that they're already in the game now. And as Barcelona did win the opening tip, they're going to get the ball on the sidelines and the officials will sort out the amount of time to be taken off the clock.
Well, we've seen Caicedo over the course of the last 3 days, and he's been up and down. Yesterday, he was fantastic, but he has struggled from time to time over this Adidas Next Generation tournament. And, well, we're just going to see if they go right to their star player in number 24, in the Blaugrana.
Caicedo actually played all 40 minutes yesterday, so if there's anyone who might be feeling a little lacking in energy today, it's surely him. But he's such a firecracker of a player. I'm sure he'll be fine when we get started, and we do, and now the clock is working, so we're underway. Nagy on the perimeter.
Interesting to see Ndaye on Nagy down low.
And there's an offensive rebound immediately for Nagy, and that is what he does. The shot was missed by Granja, but there was Nagy to immediately snare his first offensive board, draw the foul, and he will try to score the first points from the free throw line. Setting
the tone early to James Nagy, and you know, for as good as Eli Ndaye is underneath the glass, you got to look at Nagy. Look at his shoulders. Look at his body frame. He is just a tank down low, and he does have the physical advantage over Ndaye. They're going to have to get crafty on how they keep him off the boards.
He's averaged 5.3 offensive rebounds per game during this tournament. His free throw shooting, though, is a weakness. As we see there, only 41% over the course of the 3 days, and that's something that Real Madrid will do. Don't let him shoot easily. Make him go to the line. And here's Ndiaye handing off to Garuba. Kostarinov for three from the corner. Sends it long. And Caicedo in transition now will look to go coast to coast. He's off the mark. This time, Garuba gets the offensive rebound. The pass to Miller's a little behind him. Well taken by Villar. And now Caicedo does get the opening points to go with the nice floater.
Well, Caicedo loves to run. He loves to turn and burn. Off those turnovers, he just a dead-out sprint to the rack. And if he beats everybody down floor, which he usually does with his pace, the Spaniard can. Oh, look at Nagy again.
As his first shot blocked, there will be more. Ndiaye trying to take him on. And travelling is the call against Real Madrid. So two great pieces of defence from Nagy. Firstly, he blocked the shot, which will not be his last. And then he went up against Ndiaye and forced him to travel. So Real Madrid already realising how tough it is going to be to get past James Nagy.
Costella putting Nagy on Eli Ndaye out on the perimeter, which is going to take away from rebounding over the course of the game. But we've seen in the first couple possessions, Ndaye quieted down by Nagy.
Here's Ordóñez spinning twice. Lovely feed and finished well by Granja, but what a pass that was by Ordóñez, having the presence of mind to bounce that pass in.
Not just dizzying himself, but dizzying the defense right there, and Ordóñez with the lovely finish.
Went 360 twice, and now there's a foul on Ordóñez as Klavza goes to ground. Slovenian point guard playing number 7 for Real Madrid. I think we've seen that before. Will he have the same impact today? Klavza as his predecessor for Los Blancos, Luka Doncic.
Big shoes to fill in the club. A Slovenian wearing the number 7, wearing white.
Here he is taking on the 3, off the mark. Who got the last touch there? Looks like it was Nagy, because it will be Real Madrid ball. But important, Dane, for Real Madrid to score. 2 minutes played. Barcelona have held them at bay. They want to get some confidence on offense.
Well, it's just been stagnant. Who's running the offense right now? This is what you're lacking with Juan Núñez, a guy who can run the offense and then win dire straits, take it all upon his shoulders, and go ISO if he needs to.
Garuba looking to get away from Villar. Kicks it out. Ndiaye is going to take on the 3. That is off the mark. Garuba gets the rebound. Tries to feed it inside to Kostadinov. Great hustle by Villar. And Barca get another stop.
I think we're seeing from early on, it's going to be all on Ndiaye's shoulders today to carry this team. Who's going to step up for Real Madrid as a role player?
Another offensive rebound and a big slam from Nagy, who is making a mark early on. He's already got rebound, block shot, forced to travel. Now he's got his first points as well. And he's all Barcelona at the moment, 6-0 with nearly 3 minutes played. Kostadinov going from long range, that's off the mark again. And Barca will go in transition.
Settling for a lot of perimeter shots, Real Madrid in the opening, and that's just a testament to Barcelona's defense. Nothing easy on the inside.
They are a good three-point shooting team, Real Madrid. Kostadinov in particular. And Klavzar like to take on a lot of shots, and Diaye can hit them as well, but not yet.
That's 3 on Baba Miller already.
As you said, he was brought in for his size to try and deal with Barca, but he won't be able to anymore as he's going to the bench on those 3 fouls. We might not see him for a while, but Henry Vesar comes in, and he has had an excellent tournament. 13 points, 6.3 rebounds.
Well, this is just somebody who might just create a mismatch for Naji down low. Obviously, he's got the size advantage, the strength advantage down low. And they went to a little zone there and switched it up on Barcelona, which turned into a turnover.
And Diaye kicks it for Klavzar for 3. Again, they take on the long shot. Again, it's no good. Caicedo to the corner. Villar isn't really a shooter. He's not going to take on shots unless he's left open. Instead, he feeds it on. Barca go for the 3 with Ordóñez. Don't get it. And this time, the defensive rebound is snared by Madrid. Here's Vesar going inside for the first time, and Naji had a piece of it yet again. Pretty sure he got fingertips on that thing.
Shades of Patrick Ewing in Georgetown against Villanova, or against NC State back in the day, when he just came out and dominated in the opening 5 minutes or so, blocked like 4 shots, and then NC State was intimidated the entire time, shy to going to the basket. Let's see if that has the same effect here today against Real Madrid. 2 block shots already for Naji, who kicks the pass here to the corner.
It's off the mark from Villar. So Barca haven't really found their range yet, but their defense is doing everything for them so far. Klavzar.
4 minutes without a bucket for Real Madrid.
Here's Garuba looking to take the baseline route, but there was a hand in there from Granja. And in transition goes Caicedo. Good pass to Granja. Nice ball movement from Barca. Caicedo wide open for 3, off the mark, and he'll be kicking himself because he could not have been more open. Barca really probably should be double digits up by now. They've had opportunities. Now, Ndiaye will go up against Naji. Step back 3, makes it, and that is the man who can make the difference for Real Madrid. Eli Ndiaye, no surprise to see that he gets the first points. It was a long 2, in fact. Not a 3-pointer, but it's points on the board, which is what Real Madrid desperately needed.
Barcelona will take that shot, though. If that's how Madrid's going to win, they will take that all day.
Now, Ndiaye gets a hand up to make a deflection, force the turnover. Kostadinov goes for 3. He was open. He's had a couple of opportunities to get his first points. He's not been able to take. Now, there's travel on Ordóñez midway through the first quarter, and Barca make a change in the backcourt with the introduction of Agustin Ubal, the Uruguayan, who is more of a scorer than Villar. Villar provides, Ubal likes to score himself.
Yeah, Ubal, he had a fantastic game too, and really pronounced himself as an out-and-out scorer for Barcelona. Yesterday was quieted down a little bit more, but Ubal is a fantastic threat on the offensive end. Naji
trying to get another shot blocked, but I think the whistle had blown already for the foul. So
perhaps a bit fortunate that was called on the floor.
Yeah, I think that's what they're discussing, isn't it?
Yeah. It will count.
And it will count because the ball had already started its downward trajectory, so that's goaltending. And it'll be a chance for a 3-point play. Real Madrid fighting back after a tough start.
Well, you can't blame James Naji for going after it. He's a beast, and how are you going to tell him with that ball hanging up in the air he doesn't go after it?
And he makes the 3-point play. So Caicedo now in transition. For Ubal, gets his first touch of the ball and immediately tries to get the shot away. Off the mark, Nagy with another offensive rebound. Ubal briefly lost it, but now he sends the pass inside. Tough one that Ordonez cannot gather.
So he was a shooter. He was going at target maybe there.
Real Madrid with a chance to take the lead now in this possession. Vesar turns, and that's going to go down as yet another block for Nagy.
He is eating everything that Real Madrid put up close to the basket. I don't think he had breakfast today.
There's Granja off target as well. Barca haven't scored for a while. They're looking for the alley-oop here, and it's perfection from Real Madrid as Klavza feeds Kostadinov high to the rim, and the Bulgarian slams it down. Real Madrid has its first lead of the game.
For as tough as it's been for Real Madrid, they're up by 1 point here, 6 minutes and some change into this ball game. Barca have been fantastic on the defensive end, but really struggling on the offensive end of late.
I'm playing for one team.
On and off the court.
To reduce inequalities.
To inspire people in need.
To train life skills. To make a real social change.
To be there for each other.
So that no one is left behind.
Get your We Are All One Team gear.
To support pandemic community relief initiatives.
We are all one team.
3 minutes 48 to play in the first quarter in the Adidas Next Generation Tournament Championship game, and it's every bit as close as we would expect. Real Madrid 7, Barcelona 6. Which of the two coaches is happier right now, Dave?
Well, you got to think Miguel Lopez is happier because the way they started out Real Madrid, it looked like they were never going to score with Nagy down low, just eating up everything that they put close to the basket. On the offense, on the offensive boards too, he's been fantastic, but they just haven't turned those second chance opportunities into points. Caicedo's had a few good looks, VR as well. Ubal's got into the game now. They're looking for any sorts of inspiration on the offensive end, and who's it going to come from?
Yeah, Barca a bit stuck. They've been on 6 points for a while, and they've seen a 6-0 lead turn into a 6-7 deficit. Gael Bonilla comes into the action, the number 2, as Caicedo looks to feed it inside to Nagy. Going up against Ndiaye. Here is Bonilla. Caicedo will take on another 3, and he makes this one. That restarts Barca's offense, and no surprise that it's Caicedo.
There's Caicedo, and let's see if that jumper from the corner gets him going. That's what Barca need on the offensive end. He is their leader, not just emotionally, but also on the offensive end.
Matteo Spagnuolo into the action for the first time, not just today, but for this tournament. He's just recovering from injury for Real Madrid in the backcourt, and he fed Ndiaye, who couldn't score. Ball contested mid-court, taken by Caicedo. Ubal is fouled by Vesar as he steps inside. That's the 4th foul on Real Madrid, so any more there will be free throws for Barcelona.
Great players just have a knack of the ball finding them. Look at the long rebounds. How many long rebounds fall into the hands of Caicedo? Look at that last deflection right there, falling into the hands of Caicedo. It doesn't, I don't know how, it's just the law of physics, I suppose, in basketball. Great players find the ball.
It's that intuition, isn't it, for sniffing out the ball. Ordonez with the alley-oop, and Nagy is fouled as he goes up, so he will have free throws. Ordonez with the recognition, nice pass. But it's on Vesar.
3 for Miller, 2 for Vesar, and that's the only source of help for Ndiaye down low.
So there's a change made with Vesar, a big, coming off, and Klavza, the point guard, back on. So they're playing a bit smaller ball, but they'll look to use Spagnuolo as well.
Game of chess being played between the two coaches right now, Miguel Lopez and Tellez. We'll just see Madrid going with their very small lineup. Look for them to look for those outside shots now because, well, rebounding, they've got Ndiaye, they've got Kostadinov, but Kostadinov likes to hang around the perimeter as well.
And there's a mental challenge now for Nagy as he misses both free throws again, and he's 0 of 4 from the line today. He's having a big impact on the game with 4 rebounds and 3 blocked shots, but those 4 straight misses, they start to get into your head.
Yeah, you know, and that might just be a factor come late in the game where Madrid see this game close and Nagy, of course, down low, getting good looks. They might just want to travel, send him to the free throw line.
And Ndiaye looks for a three and makes it. So Real Madrid answering through their key player again. He's up to 5 points, and now a travel is called. And Barca react by giving Nagy his first rest, with Teodor Simic, number 15, replacing him.
And Real Madrid breathe a sigh of relief as they go small. Simic is also a big boy, though, and he's a bit better on the offensive end, a bit more skilled, if you might say. Defensively, you lack a little bit with Nagy on the bench, though.
Shot bounces out for Spaniolo. Rebound taken by Bonilla, but too much on the pass for Ubal. A misfire between the Mexican and the Uruguayan. A turnover from Barca.
Just a mistake there from Bonilla. Barca's so accustomed to getting the ball and running up the floor. Right there, just take your time. The double team came, but you didn't have to get up the floor too quickly.
And Ndiaye in the low post is fouled by Simic, so his first act after coming into the game is to send Ndiaye to the free throw line.
It's been a long first quarter, still 2 minutes left in this first quarter, not much scoring, a whole lot of stoppages in play, fouls, timeouts after a couple runs from each team, a little short runs obviously with not many points being scored.
Ndiaye 75% from the free throw line over the course of this tournament, and he improves those figures by making both of those.
Missed a couple big ones against Dasvel Villeban in day 2, and when the pressure comes, those free throws, that rim starts to shrink a little bit later in the game.
Kicked out for Bonilla to take on the three-pointer, and Barca answer through Gael Bonilla, who had a really quiet game for 3 quarters yesterday against Mega, and then really came to life and helped spark that 11-point comeback. Yeah, and he started fast earlier today.
You know, he was real frustrated. I saw him going to the bench, and he just had that look of defeat, but he kept on grinding, kept on going, and in that fourth quarter had 6 points, really big points late in the game at crucial times, pivotal times, and he was one of the reasons why Barcelona won that game yesterday.
Is Simic inside, finishing well, and that's why he's been brought into the action to give a little more finesse around the basket. Immediately doing so with his first shot.
The Northern Macedonian has a bit more skill set around the rim, can finish a bit easier than Nagy.
Garuba taking it with aggression inside and scoring off the glass. Great athleticism and ball control as he released a shot against the glass. Bonilla.
Well, Garuba have a great game against Zalgiris in the opener. 11 points. It was really his breakout game in this tournament, and he did it with his defense and his transition play. He's so quick, he's so powerful. Offensively, he lacks a little bit, but when he gets room to run, boy, is he quick, and he gets to the bucket quicker than anybody on the court.
And he's an important player for Real Madrid. The phrase that comes to mind is glue guy. He plays a lot of minutes without putting up spectacular numbers, but he's so steady, such a hard worker, always in the right place, reads the game well.
He's so very active, helping out on defense. Offensively, he's not going to give you much, and anything that he does give you is a cherry on top with Sadiq Garuba.
And as we talk about him, he heads to the bench to be replaced by Jan Vide, another Slovene in the backcourt for Real Madrid. Barca have Villar back in the game for Ubal. And Klavza taking on the three. He'll keep shooting, but he keeps missing at the moment. As Caicedo feeds Villar, now Bonilla to the corner. Move back for Villar to take on the shot, it's short. And now Spaniolo. Vide able to escape the press. Kostadinov hits the three. He'd missed a couple earlier, but Like Klavzar, he will keep shooting them, and he will find his range. And after 3 straight misses from long range, Kostadinov makes that one. Real Madrid back in front, but not for long, because Caicedo immediately answers. He goes up to 7 points. Leading scorer for Barca at the end of the first quarter. Shot from half court from Klavzar rims out, and a very close first quarter comes to an end, and it could not be any closer as it is tied up. Real Madrid 17, Barcelona 17.
Help restore the Amazon rainforest.
I care.
We care.
Do you care?
Do you plant trees?
We plant trees.
Plant with us.
€1, 1 tree.
Tournament championship game in La Fonteta in Valencia. Real Madrid against Barcelona, 17-17 as we start the second quarter. Jan Vide in the backcourt for Real Madrid, still going with this small lineup. It comes out to Klavzar. And now Vide with the travel. As the two Slovenians combine, Vide maybe just caught in 2 minds there about whether to set himself for the 3 or set off on the dribble, and he ended up travelling, so turning the ball over. Barcelona will then now have the chance to take the lead again. Caicedo going to work in the low post. Kicks out to Villar, now Bonilla. Ordóñez can't make the 3. Great rebound taken by Villar. Barca is so big, even the point guard can take those offensive rebounds. And Kostadinov now whistled for his first foul. Barcelona already with 5 offensive rebounds in this game.
Well, they move the ball so well, and that's what happens when you get the defense moving, is everybody's out of position, and that opens up offensive rebound lanes.
Here's Spaniolo in transition after the great pass. Almost full court from Ndiaye. Saw Spaniolo streaking to the basket, and Spaniolo did the rest. Nice finish. Simic off the mark. Ndiaye tips it down for Klavzar. And Spaniolo being aggressive again, finds Ndiaye in the corner. Can't make the 3.
So good to see Spaniolo in this game. He missed the first 3. He was in that championship winning team 2 years ago in Victoria.
Yeah, Real Madrid, the defending champions, as the finals were not played last season due to the pandemic. So looking to win the title again. And Spaniolo, the only surviving member of that team a couple of years ago. Here's Spaniolo spinning to the basket and trying to finish with his left hand, but he was disrupted by Simic, who then grabbed the rebound. Caicedo. Going inside, spins back out to find Bonilla. His shot is short, and there's a foul on Caicedo as he contests the offensive rebound.
Just looking at Spagnuolo, I'm wondering how much he's forcing this right now. You see that right leg taped up. He's heading to the bench right now. He was looking a little hobbled on his way down the courts, and if Nunez was here, if they had a full repertoire, a full team to count on Miguel Lopez, would he go with Spagnuolo? Obviously, in this situation, if you can play, you will play. But how much is he forcing it?
Here's Klavzar.
Again, Caicedo with that long reach.
And he sends up the high pass, a bit too ambitious, looking for Bonilla with Garuba in the vicinity. And it's swatted away.
Well, Caicedo's so good on the fast break, but it's a 2-on-2 there, and he just draws Klavzar over, but he forgets about Sadiq Garuba and his incredible hops that broke that pass up, that alley-oop exchange.
Caicedo looks to send the pass inside, but Simic unable to take it. It's Garuba who came back into the game in place of Spagnuolo, as there maybe just a bit too much heat on the pass from Caicedo.
Well, Caicedo was frustrated right there because Simic is down low. He's got to be expecting that pass. He draws the defender out. Simic is down. He's got a mismatch. He's open in the lane, and you've got to be prepared for that pass. It came in with some mustard. It came in with some zest, but he's a big boy with good hands. You got to expect him to make that play.
Granja is back in the game for Barcelona as Ordóñez goes to the bench, and there is Klavzar. Keeps on shooting from long range. He missed 5, but now he gets his first points.
Shooters are going to shoot. Klavzar is a fantastic shooter, had 6 three-pointers yesterday. And for those of them who are thinking, hey, maybe he used up all of his threes yesterday, Klavzar's got another thing coming for him.
Villar looking to send the pass inside, takes a touch off the foot of Kostadinov. Real Madrid are really focusing on the outside shooting. That's 13 three-pointers they've attempted so far, only 10 two-pointers.
Well, when you got Naji down low, you shy away from those close-range buckets.
Great steal by Ndiaye, who will take it all the way and throw it down with a bit of a flourish. Real Madrid into their biggest lead so far, 5 points, the margin, after he picked the pocket of Granja.
Ndiaye tomahawking that one in transition and spurring Real Madrid up 5.
The shot is long from Simic.
Bit of momentum shifting towards the way of Los Blancos.
There's Jan Vide. Right for Kostadinov. And Ndiaye, who's got 9 points now. Klavzar wants another one. We told you he's not going to stay cold for too long. Urban Klavzar with back-to-back three-pointers in the space of a minute or so. Forced Barcelona into the timeout. Real Madrid marching into a 27-19 8-point lead. Klavzar's three-point shooting, as it was always going to be in this game, fundamental.
Well, you know, he's a guy who's not going to quit shooting. Like you said, he's a streaky shooter. Once he gets hot, boy, are the opposition in trouble. And this is a timeout for Coach Diaz, not just to stop the run, but maybe just to cool down Klavzar a little bit as well.
And do you think he'll be thinking about getting Naji back into the game? We haven't seen him since late in the first quarter. Barcelona's key player inside, even though it's outside that Real Madrid are doing the damage.
I honestly don't know why he's been on the bench for so long. I can't understand it. He changed the game defensively to start off with, went to the bench. Real Madrid make this run, and if he's not out of the timeout huddle on the court, I would be thoroughly shocked.
Naji played the first 7 minutes 38, during which he grabbed 3 offensive rebounds and blocked 3 shots, making his presence felt. And indeed, here he comes back onto the floor. It's a tough one for coaches, isn't it? Because you've got to rotate, especially in the 4th day of a tournament when there's been a game every day. Naji, you can't expect him to go out there and play 40 minutes. There've got to be times when you sit him down, let him reserve some energy, but you don't want the opposition to take advantage of that too much and leave yourselves in a hole.
Right, you want to have him towards the end of the game, towards the 4th quarter, but you can't have him out for an extended period and let the other team build up a run like Real Madrid has had right now.
So Barca needing to respond. Here is Bonilla, floats it in nicely after attacking inside as Barca continue to do most of their scoring inside.
Nagy affecting that play on the offensive end without even touching the ball. He draws more attention, and that opens up space for Bonilla down low.
Here's Garuba, escapes the pressure, and just about able to find Vesar. But then it's turned over as Vide can't hold on to it, and that is the intensity in Barcelona's defending that is really their trademark. And maybe they've just been missing in the last 3 or 4 minutes as Real Madrid pulled away into the handy lead, the biggest of the game. Up to 8, it's been cut to 6 now, and Barcelona look to make further inroads with Granger on the ball.
It just looks like there's more energy injected into this Barcelona side with Nagy in the game.
He comes out to set the screen, which Villar goes round and flights it in nicely.
Got an easy shot there from Villar, hanging in the air and finishing off the glass. Good defending, nothing wrong with the defensive effort there from Klavzar.
First points of the game for Rafa Villar. And
what a run out of the timeout. The momentum has changed. The way Barcelona is completely different from going into the timeout and coming out of the timeout.
There's a new spark to them, and they've halved the deficit already and now forced another turnover with change in personnel as Vide goes to the bench and Spaniolo comes back out. So another test of that injured right leg. To the corner for Villar, inside for Nagy, who will send it back out. Villar looks for another floater and gets it to go. Looked like Juan Carlos Navarro as he released that shot.
That one came down with a little bit of snow on it, didn't it? That was up in the clouds from Villar and drops it down with a teardrop.
So a 6-0 run for Barcelona after the timeout to narrow the gap to 2 and forcing Real Madrid into the timeout as it remains a close game. This is the second time we've had an all-Spanish championship game. Back in 2013 in London, Joventut de Badalona overcame Barcelona. Barca have won this tournament in recent times, in Berlin in 2016, overcoming Crvena Zvezda. Real Madrid, the reigning title holders, 2 huge clubs, of course. Don't think anyone doesn't know that. Breaking news, Real Madrid and Barcelona are a huge club. But you live in Madrid, I live in Barcelona. Your dad was a EuroLeague champion with Real Madrid. When you're a young player, a teenager, 16, 17 years old, and you're making your way in your career looking, to make a mark, how much does a game like this, a final, the biggest youth tournament in Europe, against your biggest rivals, how much does it mean to these players?
Well, this is just a blood rivalry. It's injected in you from the time you enter each of these clubs. Whether you're a Barca fan, whether you're a Madrid fan, that's going to dictate which one of these teams, because I can guarantee you each and every one of these players were courted by each of these teams, each of these clubs, especially the guys, the foreign guys, like the Vassars, like the Nagys, like Klavzar. And so these guys chose the clubs that they're at because they have a passion for these clubs. And that, I don't want to say hatred, but it's almost like that. That bad blood between these clubs is something you're bred with.
And makes this kind of game mean even more as Caicedo takes it and throws it down, and Barca tie the game after the great work from Villar, who's coming up big at the moment, 2 scores, and that steal and assist for Caicedo. We're back to a tied game. It's Vesar, and he's called for the travel, so Barcelona all over Real Madrid at the moment.
You called it, partner. Villar coming in and changing this game as well with his offensive abilities, but also with his fundamentals, just the little things that he does, Villar, on the defensive end, getting those assists, setting the right screens. Here he is again in the corner.
He has 3 steals already. This time it's Granger taking on the long shot, which is just short. Spaniolo rebounds. Maybe it's Real Madrid's turn to bounce back now, as Garuba finds Klavzar, takes the baseline, bounces the pass along to Ndiaye, and it finds its way to Vesar. via a deflection, I think, but he turned it into an alley-oop.
Ndiaye claimed the assist there, but that was a fortunate deflection and falling perfectly on a platter for Vesar.
And it's now Barcelona who turn it over. Garuba in transition for Spaniolo. Beautiful left-handed finish. The backspin on the ball just allowed it to take a soft bounce off rim. Look at the technique on this.
Any doubts about that right leg for Spaniolo was silenced right there. That was an incredible, flashy finish around the rim for Spaniolo.
And it's Real Madrid on a 4-0 run to go back in front after Barca had an 8-0 run. Spaniolo going for another one as he's fouled, and that was not far away. Well, there might be a problem with his right leg, but there's nothing wrong with his left hand or his right hand, the way he released those last two shots. And he will go to the free throw line now. That was a shooting foul. This second quarter is flying by a lot more quickly than the second. There's only 2 fouls on each team. Haven't been as many trips to the foul line, but Spaniolo will have the chance to do so now for the first time today. The Italian Matteo Spaniolo, 18 years of age, looking for his second ANGT title.
Yeah, he has a chance here after the Victoria win. Didn't play that much in Victoria Gasteiz, but here
because he was only 16 then.
Exactly, but he's got some experience. He is one of the leaders, and unfortunately he hasn't been around for Real Madrid in the first 3 games, but coming up big today. And teams prepare for what they're expecting. I don't think Barcelona was expecting to see Spaniolo today, and they've just got a little bit of a counterpunch there from Barcelona.
Nice finish by Granja to stop that run from Madrid that had given them a 6-point lead. It's Spaniolo again, looking full of composure on the ball. Garuba, and now Kostadinov spinning and stepping back to finish beautifully. The shooting on both sides has really stepped up. It's a much more high-scoring second quarter as Bonilla finds Nagy, and he makes it look easy as he sends it off the glass and in. Both teams really finding their rhythm now.
Yeah, those are the situations I'm talking about. I know you're in Ndiaye and you can't get into foul trouble, but you got no fouls right now. You see in Nagy wide open down low. Send him to the free throw line.
Especially as he missed his first 4 free throws. Don't let him score easily like that.
So that's a strategy that I think that man right there, Miguel Lopez, will have to inject into his team. Let's try to send Nagy to the line. He's going to finish on the offensive end if he's down low. He's just too big. He's too powerful. Make him earn those from the free throw line. Especially,
as you say, when Ndiaye doesn't have any fouls yet. So he can afford to take one.
Those first 5 fouls in the first few minutes from Vesar and Miller might have just shied them away from wanting to commit those fouls against Nagy. But you can't be shy. Get those guys who have expendable fouls to send them to the line.
Spaniolo looking to penetrate and able to get the shot above the leap of Nagy, which is no easy feat. He tried for his 4th block of the game there, but couldn't quite get it.
It's what I'm saying. I think Barcelona wasn't expecting to see Spaniolo in this game, and they've been thrown off a bit by seeing the number 9, especially with his right leg taped, but he's doing all right, seems very mobile, and adding just another dynamic, another dimension to this Real Madrid offense.
Yeah, he's up to 8 points already in 9 minutes on the floor with 3 rebounds and an assist as well. And that's going to be turned over. Is it Caicedo able to retrieve it for Barcelona?
Great players find the ball.
And Caicedo then, I think he was looking for the alley-oop pass that Nagy wasn't expecting. I don't think that was a shot from Caicedo, who hasn't scored for a while. Spaniolo with the pass, Kostadinov for the 3, off the mark. Caicedo, again, great players, have a way of finding the ball. Here he is, going in transition, sends it back to Villar. Just over a minute to play in the first half. Villar is off the mark. Good rebound from Miller, who's just come back in for Vesar.
Important how
long pass for Ndiaye, too long, and a heavy landing for Ndiaye, who I think collided mid-air with Villar, both of them trying to get a hand on it, and let's hope that this is nothing serious for Eli Ndiaye. We'll see it here, the full length of the court pass, and it was the landing hopefully there's nothing too bad there. Hopefully it's fatigue as much as anything, because Ndiaye has played every minute so far, every second so far.
Well, he's like an elastic man. We've seen him throughout this tournament take banks, take knocks. In the first game against Zalgiris, he got rolled up by Kublikis, and that was a big scare for Real Madrid as their star went to the bench limping. Came out the next day, he was fine, scored 30 points. He was just all right, not just all right. He was fantastic in that game, and the bounce back after the slight injury. Right there, bounces back up after a heavy fall. This guy is tough.
He's providing, again, for his team, a bit of everything. 9 points, only 2 rebounds because he's got a slightly different role today, playing more on the perimeter. 4 assists, 4 steals. And here's the 3-point shot up from Klavza, who made a couple not so long ago. That one is off the mark, but can't be rebounded by Barca. I think it was Granja who got the last touch. Ordóñez has returned to the action for Barcelona.
Every coach will tell you the way you finish quarters is always so important. Those last 2 minutes of quarters, and Real Madrid up by 6 right now. If they can build a little lead, get it to maybe 10, that's a big momentum swing going into the second half.
Spaniolo, shot clock was running low, so he took the shot on. Rebound gathered by Nagy. Villar to Ordóñez. Caicedo wants it in the corner. He steps inside now, looking for Nagy, but great lead from Garuba, who's got such a spring. And here's Ndiaye, twisting, turning, drawing the foul. And on the floor, I think. Yeah, doesn't count.
Ndiaye is asking for it, but you'll just see on this replay, there's the contact. He spins, takes a step, and right call there from the referees, who have been great all weekend long.
That was the last foul that Barca have to give. So any more, Real Madrid will have free throws. 25 seconds to go in the first half. Madrid up by 6. Spaniolo, who's done a lot to make that happen. 5 seconds on the shot clock as Garuba drives in, and he draws the contact.
That's where Garuba is best, putting his head down, getting to the iron. If he doesn't make the shot, he draws a lot of contact. He's a big physical guy. He doesn't mind getting touched up around the iron, and well, earning some free throws right here with a 6-point game and 13.7 to go.
He's made his first free throw today. Garuba, who is 5 of 8 over the course of the tournament, and he'll try to extend the lead. Then we'll have one more possession for Barcelona, who will have Ubal back in the game with Granja, Caicedo, Ordóñez and Nagy as they look to narrow Real Madrid's lead with the final play of the first half. After this free throw from Garuba, makes the first. Doesn't make the second. Nagy rebounds it. Real Madrid have a foul to give, as Ubal has it in his hands, and there is the foul given by Vide. That was a sensible decision from Vide to take the foul.
Just good court awareness right there, good game awareness. That's a sign of a well-coached team. They know the situation. They know how much time is left on the clock.
Vide was sent in to foul.
Exactly.
Really. So now Barca have 6 seconds, no more fouls to give for Real Madrid. Ubal, Vide will switched on, and now the shot is up from Ubal. It's no good, and there's no time for anything else as the first half comes to an end. Real Madrid have marched into a 7-point lead here at La Fonteta in Valencia. It is the Adidas Next Generation Tournament Championship game. Real Madrid 38, Barcelona 31 at half-time.
restore the Amazon rainforest.
I care. We care.
Do you care?
Do you plant trees?
We plant trees.
Plant with us.
€1, 1 tree.
Time for the second half of the title decider in the Adidas Next Generation Tournament. It is the championship game, a Clasico as well. What more could you ask for? Real Madrid against Barcelona, a 7-point lead for Real Madrid. We see the stats for the first half, and all of the shooting percentages better for Real Madrid. Alongside me is Dane Lucas, and Dane, one that really stands out, is right at the top left. 10 of 15, 67% for Real Madrid from two-point territory. They will be very happy with that. Barcelona, conversely, will be very unhappy that Real Madrid have had so much success inside.
Well, with those numbers, 10 of 15, just think of how this game started and how much Madrid was struggling from the inside. I don't know what the numbers were after those first 5 minutes where Nagy was just dominant down low, but Real Madrid turned it on, and that's the reason they are leading by 7 right now. That and a big contribution from a surprise guest for Real Madrid, Spagnuolo, who has been fantastic here in his comeback to the ANGT Finals championship game.
Matteo Spagnuolo missed the first 3 games this week through injury. Wasn't really expected to play today, but here he is. He played 10 minutes in that first half as Barca look to start strong with Nagy, and they do. That is exactly the start to the second half that Barca wanted. Get it inside, let Nagy do his thing. He drew the foul as well, and he will go to the line now. And this will be important, Dane, because he missed 4 free throws in a row. He could spend a lot more time on this foul line. He wants to start making the shots.
Yeah, if Real Madrid have any ideas here in a close game of putting him to the line, he's going to have to start making free throws. Proves it right there with his first chance, but Barcelona coming out of the gate, feeding the beast. He is hungry. You got to feed the beast.
He has been kept reasonably quiet in the first half. Nagy up to 7 points now. Here's Klavzar taking on the 3, and there's Nagy taking another rebound. So immediately he asserts himself as a key player at both ends of the floor. And he has the ball on the perimeter now to Caicedo, who takes on the 3-point shot. Off the mark, rebounded by Kostadinov. Vesar, by the way, was whistled for the foul and on Nagy, and he's up to 3. So both Vesar and Babamila on 3 fouls now is something for Real Madrid to be slightly concerned about, as Caicedo picks up his second.
That's a battle right there between Garuba and Caicedo. Obviously, Garuba is going to be on him on the defensive end because of his quickness, because of his physicality.
And Diaye missing the shot, but Kostadinov was first to it and tips it in.
And that's what you lose with Nagy guarding and Diaye. Down low, Kostadinov and Vesar are going to have those opportunities for offensive rebounds.
Rafa Villar, mid-range, shot is short, taken by Vesar. And Klavzar on the dribble, gives it to Vesar now. Kostadinov wants the 3. Too much on the shot, but they'll keep on taking those long-range shots. We've seen it from Kostadinov and from Klavzar already in this quarter. They'll keep on trying those. Caicedo with the floater, beautifully released. Knew that Ndiaye was there trying to block the shot and just sent it high and dropping it in.
He sensed that line in the tall grass before he even turned around and knew he was going up even over the backboard for that floater on the baseline.
Here's Vesar, who did likewise at the other end, exactly the same way. He evaded the attempted block from Nagy, who has 3 blocks already. Not that time. Trading baskets at the moment, early in the second half. Ordóñez trying to twist away from Vesar, and in the end, travel called against Ordóñez by that good defending.
Fantastic defending by Vesar. He's so big, he's so long, he doesn't need to lift his feet. Just put your hands up, stand your ground, and Ordóñez moving that pivot foot after a couple spins.
Here's Vesar at the other end now, barging Ordóñez out the way to get the shot off, but he wouldn't go for him. Caicedo gets away from Garuba, loses it though, and now Garuba in transition. Real Madrid on the fast break, and it's laid up and in by Klavzar. Great play by Garuba, not just to grab the loose ball, but to turn defense into offense so quickly.
Like you said, he's a glue man, and right now he's got the responsibility of keeping Caicedo quiet. He has the ability to change the outcome of this game by limiting Caicedo, because you're not going to stop him. He's too good of a player.
Vesar trying to drop it in, misses, but Kostadinov is there for his second tip-in of this second half, which forces Barca into the timeout. More great play by Kostadinov, who is up to 11 points now. He drove, dished it, and then he was quickest to react when the shot was missed. And Dane, I know that Konstantin Kostadinov, the gifted young Bulgarian, is a player you like a lot.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic. He's a guy for me who can do everything. He's already got the body that you want from one of those big, tall guys who can shoot the three. He can put it on the deck. He's a great ball handler. He can rebound the basketball. He's an incredible talent out of Bulgaria, and Real Madrid are lucky to have him.
He's up to 11 points now. Konstantin Kostadinov, the leading scorer for Real Madrid. 6 rebounds as well.
I think Barcelona's struggles right now on the offensive end are taking away from their intensity on the defensive end. They're struggling, they're getting frustrated, and it's kind of taking the wind out of the sails on the defensive end. And this is where this team strives. They thrive on the defensive end, committing those turnovers, getting blocks from Nagy, rebounding the basketball and running like Caicedo does. And right now we're just not seeing it from them in this third quarter.
Real Madrid up by 10, but Barca have been in a bigger hole than this. As recently as yesterday against a very talented Mega Belgrade team, they were down by 11 in the fourth quarter. So they will believe still. They've got very recent memory of launching a big comeback.
Yeah, it took a bit of ingenuity from the sideline with Coach Tellez when he put that extended 2-3 zone. Let's see if he's got any more tricks up his sleeve. He's down 10 right now, a pivotal point in this game midway through the third quarter.
Barca do not want Real Madrid getting into a bigger lead up to the teens to allow them to start feeling comfortable. There's still a long way to go in this game as Garuba picks up his first foul. Caicedo has spent every second on the floor again, as he did yesterday, played all 40 minutes.
And Garuba just blanketing Caicedo right now.
Nagy isn't going to try and shoot from there. Here's Caicedo. Clever behind the back pass. Ordóñez with the open three off the mark, but Caicedo gets the rebound and makes the most of that. It fell rather kindly straight to him.
Ball finding great players, and
7th rebound.
He's fortunate there because Garuba's going to be on top of him like white on rice this entire second half. So he's going to have to get creative and find a way to get those shots up, and off the offensive rebound right there, finding a way.
Kostadinov looking to feed Vesar, who isn't able to make the shot go. And Villar now for Caicedo. Another three-point shot up from Barca, and again it's off the mark from Bonilla. They've had their opportunities from deep, Barca, in this quarter to make it a closer game than it is. And Ndiaye tries maybe a little too much with the pass, and Caicedo takes it the distance and drops it in. Up to 15 points, leading Barca's comeback here, Michael Caicedo.
It's where he's at his best, and the defense turning into offense that time. Caicedo in transition, not giving Garuba a chance to get back and put the defense on him, and that is what Caicedo has to do for the rest of this 15 minutes here from Valencia.
Clavza there drawing the foul. He wanted it to be, wanted to get continuation for the basket to count, but that isn't the case. Kostadinov is going to get a rest now. A player who's had 20 minutes in the game. He's on the bench with Spaniolo coming back in, and there is Ndiaye. He's got range. He knocks down his second triple of the game.
He hasn't had much space today, but once you give him a centimeter of space, he will punish you, and all open from the perimeter. And he knocks down the three, double digits for Ndiaye.
Ubal is off the mark, and the foul is whistled on Ubal. And that's a charge, his second foul, as Barca, other than Caicedo, struggling to find any solutions on offense.
Yeah, you know, it's Garuba again making that play on the defensive end. And if his brother is any indication of how the Garuba household defense, they are game changers on defense.
Klavzar sending up the three, which doesn't go. Here's Caicedo receiving the pass from Bonilla. Ubal for the three, and he makes it, and that is what Barca needed. Someone else to start delivering, and Ubal certainly has that scoring potential.
Answering your call to action, Andy. Ubal right there from downtown. That's his bread and butter. That's where he needs to be. That's where he wants to be. And seeing that first three go down will start to give him a bit more confidence from the perimeter.
His first points of the game, his spin and shot from Garuba. Couldn't quite get the finesse that he wanted on the shot. Now Bonilla. Ubal wants another. Steps back.
Why not?
Sends it up.
Why not?
Why not? There's absolutely no reason why not. Agustin Ubal, the Uruguayan, firing Barca back to within 3 points. Timeout called by Real Madrid. And look at Michael Caicedo saying, you know what he's saying to him. He's saying, I believe in you.
Keep shooting.
Keep shooting. You will keep scoring. You can win this game for us.
Not just defensively, offensively. Caicedo emotionally is the leader of this team, pepping his boys up. When they were down 11 yesterday in the fourth quarter, it wasn't Caicedo going to the bench, ducking his head, bowing his head in defeat. He was lifting everybody up, in everybody's ear, giving him that motivation, giving him that confidence to keep going, to keep charging. And well, Caicedo right now believing in Ubal, and Agustin Ubal bringing Barcelona back to life here in the last 4 minutes of the third quarter.
A 17-year-old from Uruguay who is such a dangerous scorer and has the knack of doing it at key times. He produced some big baskets yesterday in the key game against Mega Belgrade. Only scored 11 points, but they came late on, and that doesn't really do justice. Sometimes the figures don't come close to telling the story, and he was really important along with Bonilla in the fourth quarter in the comeback, as he is trying to be again here. We've had triples at both ends in the last few minutes, and the I-8 followed by a pair from Ubal, whose finish was better than his celebration.
Exactly, that was the only thing he did wrong in the last two possessions.
Back from the timeout, 49-46.
Spagnolo back into the game.
And Vesa looking for the three. There is Spagnolo taking the rebound. Looking for the fadeaway jumper that's no good. And Barca in transition. Caicedo looking for Nagy. Great defense from Ndiaye. Leaping high to tip the ball away from Nagy. Taking another heavy landing, just as he did in the first half in exactly the same spot of the floor. There'll be a Ndiaye-shaped indentation on the floor there. Ubal wants another one. That one is long. Nagy gets the rebound, swats it back to Caicedo. Bonilla sends a pass inside. Who's going to pick up the loose ball? It's going to be Barcelona's last touch. Must have been from Ndiaye.
You can always tell by the reaction of the players who it went off of last. And right there, it was Ndiaye not protesting the call once the referees gave it to Barcelona.
Bonilla for Caicedo. Going to work against Spagnolo. What a pass. Bonilla feeds it on as well to Nagy, but it's not going to count. A 3-second violation against Nagy.
Well, that's unfortunate for Nagy in Barcelona. Caicedo creating in the middle of the paint, spinning, knew that Bonilla was cutting without even having to look. And that's just great understanding. And unfortunately for Nagy, was just parked in the paint for too long.
Here comes Klavza answering what Ubal did at the other end. Those two will keep shooting from distance, and Klavza gets his third triple of the game. And there's an offensive foul here.
Against Nagy, was it?
It's going to be Real Madrid possession.
Well, you got me.
Yeah, me too. But either way, it looks like it was Nagy. Must have been a moving screen. And it's Real Madrid with the possession. Spagnolo moving classily to open the space for Klavza. Wants another from the same spot. This one he can't get to go. Ubal to Caicedo, stretches out He's so direct, aggressive, and he's got such control of the ball. Makes it look easy as he leapt with bodies around him. But at the other end, Kostadinov back in the action. As Ndiaye strikes again. Kostadinov was rising for the tip-in, but didn't need it because Ndiaye moves up to 14 points. Now Bonilla, it's flying in at both ends now. Both offenses finding rhythm.
We're heating up here, and this is exactly the sort of final that we're hoping for. Into the third and into the fourth. Ending the third and into the fourth.
2 minutes to go in the third. Barca have pulled it back to a 3-point margin. Spaniolo. Vesar for the three this time. Nowhere near. Turns into a pass for Kostadinov. He can't score, but Ndiaye, now Kostadinov, and he's fouled in the end after Real Madrid have, what, 4 attempts to score? In the end, they'll go to the foul line. Kostadinov with the rebound, fouled by, I think, Nagy.
We talked pregame about Barcelona's dominance on the boards, but how about Real Madrid, especially on that last attempt right there? 4 offensive rebounds. It leads to extra chance points, or at least opportunities, with Kostadinov going to the line.
Yeah, the rebounding is extremely close. 26 for Real Madrid, 27 to Barcelona. And that is, on paper, an area that Barca would look to dominate this game. They've not been able to do so today. And 9 offensive rebounds from Real Madrid, 5 of them from the man at the line, Konstantin Kostadinov, who makes the most of his opportunities.
And that's with Ndiaye with just 4 rebounds up until this point of the game. Remember, he's averaging almost 15 rebounds per game over these last 3 games. So Ndiaye keeping him quiet, but it's allowing space for other people to get those rebounds.
Kostadinov with a double-double already as Caicedo hits the 3. Barca striking straight back through their leading scorer, Michael Caicedo. 20 points for him now.
Ice in his veins. Klavzar, though.
Klavzar doing exactly the same thing at the other end. He's hit 4 triples now. And Real Madrid just keeping in front through offense. Klavzar up to 14 points, as is Ndiaye. Kostadinov on 13. They've been the drivers of this. And if Klavzar is left open to shoot there, he will shoot.
Yeah, you know, Caicedo, you see him caught between a rock and a hard place right there, where he's doesn't know whether to stay on Klavzar or defend the pass that Klavzar could have made. If you're Caicedo with that option again, keep on Klavzar. You can't leave him open.
You can't leave Ubal open either. Real Madrid need to prevent him from getting a clean look from long distance. Simic is in the action as Nagy goes to the bench for a rest. Bonilla for Caicedo, another beautiful finish, evading the attempted block of Ndiaye, floating it high, such control. Look at those stats, 8 of 9 from 2-point range for Michael Caicedo.
They haven't all been easy. Look at that last shot right there, a floater, having to get around Garuba.
Ndiaye with the rebound, but then he was met by Caicedo. And Caicedo with the block on Ndiaye, clean block. So it's going to be Real Madrid ball. 27 seconds to play in the third quarter. A 3-point game. 12 seconds on the shot clock for Real Madrid. And Ndiaye might fancy going one-on-one against Simic. Instead gives it to Spaniolo. Flick back to Ndiaye to take on the 3, and he's fouled in the act of shooting by Simic, who doesn't have the speed to live with Ndiaye, so maybe just wanted to get close to him, but too close.
That's what Ndiaye does. He creates such a mismatch for opposing defenses, because if you put Nagy on him, you drag him out to the perimeter, you take away one of the best rebounders down underneath the basket. If Simic is in the game, Simic can't keep up with him out on the perimeter. Ndiaye might not have the advantage down low, but bring Simic out. If you want to put somebody like Caicedo on him, Ndiaye is going to eat him up down low. So it's that mismatch problem that he creates for the opposing team.
He's a threat inside and outside.
Exactly.
So you can't just say, okay, we'll leave him on the perimeter because he'll shoot the 3s.
Exactly. He's that very rare breed of player who creates mismatches with any defender that's on him.
And get this, he's only 16 years old.
I mean,
what a future he has. He was the MVP of the qualifying tournament that Real Madrid won in Istanbul. And he could well be, if Real Madrid win this game, I'm sure he will be, the MVP of the finals tournament here in Valencia. He misses there, so could only take one of the 3 free throws. And now Barca will have a final possession. Real Madrid with fouls to give, only committed 2. So they should give fouls here rather than allowing Barca to shoot. Great defense from Garuba. Wanted a steal rather than a foul, and they get the steal. And Ndiaye is going to let it go. Didn't have time to, but they got a stop, and Garuba's defense was awesome there.
Well, Garuba, anybody who's hot for Barcelona, Garuba you can bet will be blanketing because he is such an effective defender. We saw it with Caicedo in the early parts of that third quarter. You see it with Ubal to end the quarter. And going into the fourth, this was anybody's game, man. He's 60 to 56. I mean, you want the stars coming up big. Look for Caicedo, look for Klavzar, look for Konstantinov, and look for, of course, Ndiaye.
Real Madrid up by 4. Ten minutes to go at the Adidas Next Generation Tournament Championship game. Real Madrid up by 4, 60 to 56. Dane Lucas alongside me. Dane, I'm going to be cruel now. Who's going to win?
Oh, that's tough. I
told you.
I'm not jumping in that pool, but I just hope that we have a spectacular finish to what's been a spectacular 3 quarters here in the A&GT Finals Championship game.
I couldn't entice you down off the fence.
No, no, no. I'm not falling for that.
We'll see. It's 4 points, Real Madrid in the ascendancy, and with the first possession, shot clock running low, Spaniolo had to just send it up because he saw there was nothing on, and there's a foul on Ndiaye, which isn't such a problem. It's only his first so far. There are 3 players on 3 fouls. Besar and Miller for Real Madrid and Villar for Barcelona.
Miller and Besar with foul trouble in the first 5 minutes, but they've behaved themselves. Of course, Miller hasn't been in the game since those first 5 minutes. Caicedo will be happy not to see Garuba guarding him.
Simic left alone to take on the 3 and makes it.
He can hit it.
He can.
That's what he gives you. Instead of having Naji out there, Simic gives you that long-range threat, and Ndiaye, he's just keeping Ndiaye honest.
2 meters 14. He's a big, big presence, but he's also got a good shooting range, as he shows, to make it a 1-point game. Spaniolo on the crossover. Makes a tough pass, gets it back. 2 seconds shot clock. He's got to send it up, and he doesn't. He wasn't aware of the time running out. He tried the extra pass, and that's good defense from Barca. And this is where Barca won the game yesterday. An incredibly tough game against Megabet Belgrade, who are phenomenally talented. Barca were down by 11 in the 4th quarter. They just turned the screw and won it with defense. defense then turning into offense.
And it's so evident when you see Barcelona feeling it on the defensive end. The energy is just picked up. They're screaming, they're yelling, and
here's Simic turning that defense into more offense. His second successive score, a long 2 this time. And he sends Barcelona into the lead with a 5-0 run at the start of the 4th quarter.
Guys got to realize that Simic can knock those shots down. He's been given space to the Northern Macedonian, and, well, he's got to be a bit more cautious, a bit more closing out on the defensive end.
Bagnolo takes on the 3, off the mark. Rebound contested, but taken by Ubal, who is fouled in transition. And it's Barcelona at the moment dominating this one. I think, Dane, this is their first lead since the first half. Real Madrid went on a big run to go up by half-time. Barcelona have gradually, bit by bit, chipped away at it and now got themselves back in front.
Yeah, Real Madrid were in control for the majority of this game since the middle part of the 4th quarter, but Barca were just hanging in there. They were hanging in there. They knew this spurt would come, and it's come at the right time right now here coming into the 4th quarter.
Now, Ndiaye does get closer to Simic. Won't let him have an open shot again as Simic steps the screen for Ubal. And Ubal takes advantage, just moves round the screen. And Ndiaye didn't go to him. You can't leave him open either. 3 open shots for Barca in the last 3 possessions. All of them converted. 7 points scored. 3-point lead. Clavzar is missing there as Caicedo grabs the rebound. Bonilla for Simic. Another open shot as he floats it in with his right hand. Barca on an absolute roll here. Look at their celebrations as Real Madrid forced into timeout. There's a long way to go, but this could prove to be a game-changing, a title-winning run from Barcelona at the start of this 4th quarter. It's a 9-0 run powered by Teodor Simic.
7 points for one of the most unlikely candidates to take this game over, Teodor Simic. And how about the coaching decision from Coach Tellez, keeping Naji on the bench to start this 4th quarter, keeping one of your stars of the show on the pine, going with Simic. And Simic, how does he reward him? Starting with a bang from downtown and then going inside and completing this 5-point lead in a 9-0 run, was it?
A 9-0 run in 2.5 minutes. Spectacular from Barcelona, but they were all open shots, and surely the Real Madrid coach, Miguel Lopez, will be saying something now to improve the defense, because yes, it was very efficient from Barca, accurate shooting, but it was made relatively easy for them. None of the shots were contested.
Credit to Barcelona, because when there are open shots, you gotta make them. That's exactly what they've done here at the right time. They've got the hot hand, and they're up by 5. But Real Madrid, you gotta make adjustments defensively. What you were doing through the 3 quarters, that was working. But Simic gives you another dynamic to defend, and you gotta be honest with him. You gotta be true to him, and you gotta stay on him if you're Real Madrid.
So Real Madrid have their 5 key players all in the game, as you would expect. As Clavzar joined by Garuba, Vesar, Kosterinov, and Ndiaye. Here's Garuba. Caicedo, such a good defender, almost got the steal. Only 5 seconds now for Ndiaye, who's going to go one-on-one. Kicks it to the corner. Garuba for the 3, and how big was that for Real Madrid? On the buzzer almost. It wasn't the prettiest of possessions, but it worked out well for them in the end, with Garuba coming up with a huge triple.
Yeah, Real Madrid get away with one right there. That's the last person you want with the ball in your hands from the corner of the 3.
But Ubal hits straight back. 4 points for him now in this run for Barca. Takes him up to 10 in the game.
Relentless Ubal down low with the big body. He's getting inside and finishing.
And Ndiaye open for 3. Simic didn't get there quickly enough to close him down, but he misses, and Kosterinov this time cannot take the offensive rebound as he has on so many occasions earlier in the game. 6 offensive boards for Kosterinov, but not there. And a key stop for Barca, who get Caicedo on the ball. Simic sets the screen, and now receives the pass. 5 seconds on the shot clock. He had to force a tough pass in towards Caicedo, who couldn't take it. Vesar finds Clavzar. Here's Garuba again. Kicks it to Ndiaye, who steps away from Ordóñez. It's long. Simic battling for the rebound, but Garuba gets it. And it's going to be Real Madrid ball, and what hustle from Sadiq Garuba in the last few minutes.
I mean, that last possession for Barcelona on the offensive end was all about trying to get Caicedo open. They ran him off a few screens off of Simic. They were looking to get Garuba off of Caicedo's back, and they just couldn't do it. A turnover after an errant pass from Simic, and then Garuba again. We talked about it. He's got game-changing ability on the defensive end.
Here's Kostadinov with a great shot. Bonilla trying to get the rejection, but he floated it up just enough to drop it in, and Real Madrid back to 2. He's swinging back and forth this game. And it would be surprising, Dane, if either team runs away with it. I don't think we're going to have a 10-point winning margin here.
Well, I got no bet in the fight, but I'm really hoping that this goes down to the wire like we've seen in a few games this week.
His Caicedo loses it as Vesar grabbed it away. The shot clock was expiring anyway. Clavzar open for 3 to give Real Madrid the lead. He can't quite get it to go. Rebound is hotly contested. Simic wins it, and Bonilla sends Caicedo too far, and it bounces onto the head of our cameraman, who doesn't shirk away from it. Everyone's giving everything, even the cameraman. Look at the ball land on his head here as Caicedo couldn't quite gather in the pass. What all-action stuff here in La Fonteta. 5 minutes to go.
Rush of blood to the head from Bonilla. Not the greatest pass in transition because Caicedo was running out of room underneath the basket. And, well, you want to get it to your star. His star was running the court. He was behind the defense, but it was a tough pass in the end. And you're going well on the offensive end. Just slow it down a little bit. Find those open shots that you've been getting.
Kostadinov forced back. Garuba gives it to Kostadinov again. It's up for 3, and Konstantin Kostadinov again showing his multi-talented abilities. He can do everything, including shoot the threes, and he's given Real Madrid the lead. And now the last touch off Ubal as he tries to drive inside.
This game is so crazy. The emotional swings that just turn in the drop of a hat. First, Barcelona comes out in the fourth quarter. They're hot. They've got the momentum. They've got the energy. They've got the spirit. And then it takes less than 30 seconds for the momentum to shift.
And now it shifts again as Caicedo takes the steal. Swatted away by Garuba. What a spell of play he's producing for Real Madrid, looking for the 3. Clavzar's off the mark.
Game-changing defense from Garuba. Sadiq Garuba taking the page out of his brother's book and just controlling Caicedo on the defensive end.
Now Ubal takes on the shot. It's off the mark. It's rebounded by Vesar. 4 minutes to go. What a final we're having. It's been a great tournament. It really has.
It's been incredible.
And this final is doing it justice.
But think about that. Caicedo with an open dunk seemingly, and that would have changed the game, swung the momentum back.
And Diaye looking for another basket. Can't make it. Bonilla for Ubal. And again, it's Garuba getting a hand in and forcing the turnover. Now Kostadinov for Vesar. Met by Simic, who fouls him. But no, that's gone Barcelona's way.
An offensive foul there by, I believe, Kostadinov, who dumped the ball off to Vesar, but then his progression clattered into, I believe, Ubal. We'll see here. But let's have a look again.
Oh, well
Perfect
played.
Performance defensively from Sadiq Garuba.
Should Caicedo have dunked it to force him to foul him?
He was a bit off balance, leaning to the a bit, but man, oh man, Sadiq Garuba.
Let's not take anything away from him.
No, we're not going to take anything away because he might come over to us and start D'ing us up.
Simic wants another one, but this time no. Rebounded by Garuba, whose name we seem to be saying every 4 or 5 seconds here. He is everywhere. Clavzar, the high arcing 3 is off the mark. And the rebound taken by Vesar kicks it out, and Diaye sends up the 3. That is also off the mark. Barca get the rebound into the final 3 minutes. 1 point separating these two teams. It's going right down to the wire, this one. As Ubal on the perimeter finds Caicedo for 3.
Caicedo, he's been quiet. Garuba's kept him in check. but you can't keep him in check forever. Caicedo is too good of a player.
25 points, 9 rebounds, 3 steals for Caicedo, who's played every second of this game. He's given Barcelona the lead. Klavzar is fouled by Ubal, and that is the first foul committed by Barca in this fourth quarter, which is we've had nearly 8 minutes of. That's a surprising stat.
And with the way they play defense, that is very surprising. But Andy, I'm just sorry that somebody has to lose this game. There's 2:17 left, and in 2:17, we're going to have somebody cheering at somebody with tears rolling down their eyes, and nobody deserves that feeling after this, giving us this much of a treat in a championship game.
Well, to be pedantic, in 2 minutes 17, I wouldn't be surprised if we're preparing for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, that might be true. I got to train it too, so let's keep this short, huh, guys?
Klavzar, Real Madrid looking to get back level terms. Kostadinov can't score. Vesa can, and one. So Vesa picking up the pieces and putting it away will now have the chance from the foul line. It was Simic who made the contact, his second foul, but it's just testament to how well Simic has played that he stayed in the game for this long, and Nagy has stayed on the bench for this long.
You know,
but now might be the time for Nagy again.
Who can say, you know, Simic had that run. I don't know if you can expect too much more from him. Nagy with that defensive performance, with his defensive dominance, he's just, Visar wouldn't have grabbed that rebound and wouldn't have got that bucket right there if Nagi's on the floor. But it's a lot of ifs and buts. Simic has done great work since he's been in the game here in this fourth quarter.
The free throw conversion gives Real Madrid the lead. Wide open is Ordóñez. It's off the mark. Rebound taken by Kostadinov. And now Klavzar, and Real Madrid can try to play with a bit of calm. Use the clock as their friend. They're leading. If they score with this possession, they'll be at least 3 up with just over a minute to play. Klavzar feeds Ndiaye. Simic tries to guard him and fouls him. And now is time for Nagy, as Simic's work is done, as he commits his third foul. He's put a lot into this game, but now it's back to the #1 big man for Barcelona, potential tournament MVP. It's time for James Nagy to again take over for Barca. Wide open, Spaniolo turns down the shot, sends it on instead to Kostadinov. He misses, and it's Ordóñez who gets the last touch that he can't gather in. The rebound gives Real Madrid 14 more seconds.
And again, Real Madrid taking advantage of the offensive boards. Barcelona coming into this game averaging almost 60 rebounds, and Madrid going at Barcelona on the battle of the boards.
Barca's rebounding has dropped down to 35 today. Spaniolo has it blocked by Nagy. Back to action. The pass down the sidelines, though, just can't be gathered by Bonilla. It was heading out. The ball was actually beyond the sidelines, and now we have a problem for Barca because Nagy has gone down.
Cramping up right now at the worst imaginable time.
After making that block, he had to stretch himself to make the block after just coming back in, and he is hopefully just going to be able to get a quick massage and get back up on his feet. He will for the last minute. He's struggling, but
really struggling. And
he was cold. He hadn't played for a while and immediately had to put every last stretch of his body to make that block. His fourth of the game.
So unfortunate and terrible timing for Nagy. He will be back, I hope, as this will take a bit of time to shake off, but it does look like it's a bit of a cramp, and well,
maybe worse than that.
Maybe worse. I hope not.
And he is going to have to go off temporarily at least.
Have a look here.
We can't see if there was an awkward landing for him there.
Nagy has been heroic all season, all tournaments, and all game long, and
it seems to be a thigh problem.
And the cramps at this juncture usually come in the
calf.
hamstring. Exactly.
Or the hamstring.
Calf or hamstring, but this
seems to be the front of the thigh. Anyway,
you can just hope that he can come back, and well, they're buying some time with him over there on that side of the court, because
he can't even put weight on the leg at the moment.
It's just terrible timing. You feel so bad for somebody who deserves to be in the ball game in the final minute.
Instead,
a big
it's
blow for Barcelona.
Instead, it's Simic back in the action. A minute to go, 71-70. Real Madrid in the lead, looking to retain the title. Spagnola has it ripped away by Caicedo. Who else? Who sends the pass to Ordóñez. Bonilla for the lead. Makes it! Gael Bonilla hits the three, and Barca are back up in front. Will that be the game winner, or can Real Madrid respond now? 42 seconds to play. Barca with a 2-point lead. Clavza and Ndiaye will answer with the three. No, he won't. It rims out. Caicedo takes the rebound. How tough for Real Madrid. They have a foul to give.
No need to
Are
foul.
they going to foul?
No need to foul. There's
Just
10
defend it.
seconds. You got to defend, but you got to defend tough. Where is Garuba in this time? You wish he was on Caicedo if you're Real Madrid right now.
Simic takes on the three, no good. Taken by Vesa. 10 seconds for Real Madrid to hit a triple to win it, or a two to force overtime. Spaniolo. Vesa steps inside, and it's scored! 1.4 seconds remaining, and Henry Vesa has tied it up. What a game! And what strong mentality from Vesa to take his time, not panic, step to the basket, and then just glide the ball in. Incredible.
Henry Vesa with incredible patience and big Swedish huevos right there with that shot on the baseline. Knew he had the time, knew he could get his defender in the air, got to the bucket, laid it up gently, and now Barcelona drawing up a play. Fabián Tellez, the coach of Barcelona, has been brilliant in this tournament, and he's got a chance to draw one up to win the game here in the last second.
Well, Barca thought maybe that they'd won it with that from Bonilla. Look at his poise as well. Bought himself a split second by faking the pass, but then at the other end, Vesa stepping away from Caicedo and having the control and the composure. And whatever happens now, these players, 16, 17, some of them 18 years old, to have that ability, to have that mental strength, to play such good basketball at that age, it is just incredible. So impressive, and we've been blessed to see such a high-quality tournament over the last 4 days.
And this is the cherry on top. This has been an incredible game from start to finish. So many swings, so many lead changes, so many just incredible moments, and we've got room for one more.
1.4 seconds for Barca to get the game winner. They have the ball advanced, and they're looking for the alley-oop. Caicedo! No! It hits the rim and bounces out, and it is overtime. So close for Michael Caicedo. They look for the alley-oop tip-in to try and win it on the final buzzer. Michael Caicedo stretching, reaching out, and it was close. It was close, but it wasn't to be. And Ndiaye taking the rebound. Whew, what a game.
This has been breathtaking. I mean, this is one of the best basketball games I've seen. It's been tight. It's had everything. Spurts of offense, lockdown defense, star players making star plays in big moments. And, I mean, what else could we ask for a final here at the Adidas Next Generation Tournament Championship game?
Spectacular stuff, not for nothing. This is the best youth basketball tournament in Europe, and now we will have overtime. And who will be the hero? There have been some huge performances already. Caicedo with a double-double for Barca. He's played every second, 40 minutes on the floor, 25 points, 10 rebounds. He couldn't quite get that one to drop on the final buzzer.
I mean, Caicedo was just inches, centimeters away from that tap.
Oh, what about that block from Garuba? Maybe the moment of the game. And in the end, perhaps you could, well, who knows how differently the game would have unfolded if Caicedo had scored there. But obviously, to take away 2 points from Barca that potentially would have won the game for them. Real Madrid have been powered by Konstantin Kostadinov, 18 points and 12 rebounds for him. Garuba has done a bit of everything, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals, and that blocked shot. And Ndiaye with 15 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals. And Clavza with 14 points. And Nagy it looks like, is going to have to stay out of the game. He is still limping.
But he's walking under his own strength, which is a good sign. And
yeah, he's just off camera, but walking back to the bench. Maybe they'll be able to call upon him during this overtime period. Barcelona with the first possession. Which way is it going to go now? I could see why he wouldn't get off the fence when I asked you to predict. Too tough to call this one. Here's Bonilla. Gets the first score of overtime by driving inside and laying it up off the glass. Klavza directing the play for Real Madrid. He has Garuba, Vesar, Kostadinov and Ndiaye for company. Here's Garuba, Klavza, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Garuba's going to have to let the shot go, and he's fouled by Caicedo, and that was an unnecessary foul because Garuba was having to take on a tough shot under shot clock pressure.
Yeah, you know, you got to be a bit more intelligent there by Caicedo. Hard to criticize a guy who's had the game he's had, but know who's on the ball. Garuba, although he's not a fantastic free throw shooter, you let him make that shot. Let him beat you with that shot right there.
Off balance, under shot clock pressure.
Exactly.
Instead, he's to the line. He makes the first. He's 3 of 4 from the foul line today. And he will now try to tie it up.
If you're Real Madrid, anytime you get 10 points from Sadiq Garuba with everything else that he does, that is just, I mean, that is an incredible production, an incredible lift for your team.
He has the highest PIR out of all Real Madrid players, 22 now. With those,
and that's strictly defense right there. Those 10 points obviously count for what it counts for, but
Simic with the nice pass for Bonilla, who's met at the rim by Vesar, who then has the presence of mind to know that he was falling out of bounds, throw the ball against the legs of Bonilla and allow his team to keep it. Another moment of incredible composure from the Estonian 17-year-old Henry Vesar.
Yeah, thanks for correcting me. He is Estonian, not Swedish, like I said just moments ago, but what a big play defensively. Real Madrid, the ones coming up with the big plays defensively instead of Barcelona here late in the game.
And Ndiaye, as the pace of the action slows somewhat. It's floated up by Klavza, who's off the mark, but there's a foul as Ndiaye clatters into the branding behind the court.
Ndiaye's got to be a bit more involved in the offense, doesn't he? He's been quiet here over the last 5 minutes of game time. Sadiq Garuba, though, he has been anything but quiet.
Matteo Spagnolo's coming back into the action for Real Madrid as Klavza goes to the bench. A couple of huddles from the two coaches. Miguel Lopez and Fabian Tellez are going to earn their stripes now in these pressure moments as the free throw is converted. This is the first ever championship game that's gone to overtime. And you wouldn't want it any other way between these two huge rivals.
Who does Barca go to now? Sadiq Garuba on Caicedo. Somebody else has to step up. Caicedo can't make his own shots all the time.
Foul on Ndiaye as Ubal was looking to streak to the basket. They've brought into the game for the first time David Castelnau, so what a moment for him. Didn't feature at all in the 40 minutes of regulation time, but Castelnau into the game now. Real Madrid had one foul to give. They don't anymore as Caicedo's left open but misses it. Castelnau is battling for the rebound. Who's going to get it? And jump ball after Castelnau looking to make an early impact.
Almost getting that offensive board, Castelnau, and he came in yesterday after not playing the entire game. Fourth quarter, hit 2 big free throws with under 2 minutes to go and showed nerves of steel. He's in this game again for some reason. Fabian Tellez is the only one who knows why after keeping him on the bench for 40 minutes in regulation. But he sees something in his guy that he likes deep in these games.
Well, he's a big body and will add physicality for Barcelona. A I guess they don't want to give up any more offensive rebounds. They've seen Real Madrid already get 14 of them, and Castelnau is a player who will scrap under the boards and stop that from happening. Very nearly a travel. The pass was released just in time as it's worked inside for Ndiaye. Spaniolo takes on the three. That's nowhere near, but they get a favourable bounce. Garuba, shot clock expiring, but Garuba will do anything, anywhere, anytime in this game. And he gives his team a 4-point lead now, 3 minutes to play. Ubal, nowhere near, but there is Castelnau showing exactly why he's in the action, getting that rebound. Kicks it back for Ordóñez, who does well to control it. Caicedo sends up the three, that's not going to go. And Ndiaye can pull down the rebound. Real Madrid in control now, up by 4, 2.5 minutes to play. Spaniolo goes on the dribble, kicks the pass to Kostadinov. Now Garuba, not again, surely. No, not near this time. And the rebound is taken. There's a foul as Ubal tries to get away. And so he will have free throws. Well, even Garuba showing that he's human there for once, missing after the fantastic game he's had, picking up his third foul as well.
Garuba doing it on the offensive end. And did you see on that last bucket for Real Madrid, the ball came out to him on the long rebound. He got it at the three-point arc, took a dribble because he knows his range. Took that dribble, got into a place where he was comfortable, sank the jumper, and then we've talked about his defensive efforts, of course, but that's a player knowing his strength.
And having the presence of mind to be aware of the shot
pressure situation
and know how long exactly he had that he could take a step. Ubal gets the second of the free throws to go. That is an area that's let Barca down today, free throw shooting. They've made 3 of 9. And Nagy is back in the game. So let's see how mobile he is, how much he can offer. But he replaces Castelnau.
Miguel Lopez going offense-defense right here, taking Garuba out for the offensive possession perhaps, or no? Well, he was trying to. But there's that jumper from Garuba that you saw, just taking that step before the shot clock buzzer sounds, and so much poise, so much presence in a big moment late in the championship game in overtime.
Clavza back in the game for Real Madrid. Kostadinov travels.
Got away with one a moment ago, but this time the referee well positioned.
And he don't want to get a technical, so stop the arguing.
Top scorer for Real Madrid with a big blunder laid on.
And so Barcelona, with 2 minutes to play, will have a possession, 3 points down. Rafa Villar has returned to the action for Barca with Ubal inside as well. Here's Nagy back in the action. Good pass to Villar. Caicedo to tie it short. Picks up his own rebound. But 3-second violation. And so Barca can't take advantage. This was the chance. Oh no, the three-point shot just before that was a chance for Caicedo to tie it up, but he couldn't do so. And Ordóñez back in the game for Barca with Ubal to the bench. Spaniolo has returned in place of Kostadinov for Real Madrid.
I think it's Kostadinov who went to the bench and getting some medical attention right now. I can't see because he's surrounded by 3 of the medics for Real Madrid's medical staff, but without their top scorer here in the last 2 minutes.
Well, they do have Spaniolo, who kicks it to Clavza, who sets himself to shoot and makes it. It's a 2-pointer from Clavza, but will that be the basket to win this game? He's so deadly from 3-point range, but there he took it. Just one dribble, extra step inside. Oh, and that's what we're seeing for Kostadinov. It's a problem with his eye. He's obviously caught an arm to the face, and he's getting treatment on a cut just below the eye. But what a moment there for the Slovenian number 7 for Real Madrid. Plays a part in their history, that position, and Urban Klavzar adding to it with that strike to give his team a 2-possession lead. Bonilla can't narrow that. A minute and a half to play. Real Madrid, if they score on this possession, will be nearly there. Up by 5, 80 seconds to play. Spaniolo will take time off the clock. And Diaye will take on the 3, no good. Rebound, nearly taken by Garuba, and Vesar does gather it. And now Barca have got to think about fouling because there's only a minute to play.
6 on the clock though, no need to foul now.
Spaniolo, off the mark, rebounded by Nagy. Barca need to score on this possession. Villar. Bonilla for Nagy, who throws down the slam. Great pass from Bonilla.
It's everybody doing what they need to do. Garuba on the offensive board. Then Nagy rips down the defensive rebound, gets the dunk on the other end off this assist from Bonilla. Everybody's playing their role here late in the game.
Barca need a stop. Real Madrid up by 3. 30 seconds to go. Spaniolo.
Oh.
They get the steal.
Look at that.
And it's going to be Caicedo, is it? Can he gather it in? Comes to Ubal. Garuba's there. I think he got a hand on it. And now Barca need to foul as Klavzar comes away. And they do foul him. But Garuba coming up with another big moment on defense as Ubal tried to make it a 1-point game. Real Madrid are nearly there now.
Oh, well, how unfortunate was this? Klavzar gets himself into a mess. Well, it wasn't that one right there, but the turnover, and Caicedo just couldn't keep up to it. He didn't have the legs. 45 minutes into this game, the poor guy's played each and every second and just couldn't reach that ball that was out in front of him.
But he still was able
did well to save the ball, but that
recycled
should have been an easy 2-point bucket to bring this to a 1-point game.
But then when Ubal tried to score, it was maybe the player of the game, Garuba, who was there to deny him. However, it's not all over yet because Klavzar misses the first free throw. And he misses the second. Barca need a 3 to tie it.
Go.
Bonilla.
Here we go.
10 seconds. They've got to get the 3.
You foul him if you're Madrid.
The shot is short. There's a deflection on it. And that'll be it. Real Madrid have won. Real Madrid are the champions. What a game for Los Blancos. They have won this title back to back. It couldn't have been closer. An epic game going to overtime. Spectacular scenes. And Real Madrid end up with the title. And what a game. It went right down to the last few seconds with Ubal taking on the 3. And Diaye got a hand on it. So fitting that he would have a big role in the final seconds. And Real Madrid are champions. What a performance from both teams. Just a spectacular game. And you said it a while ago, Dane, it's a shame that someone has to lose, but Real Madrid deserving champions.
Wow. If it went the other way, you'd say Barca were deserving champions.
Absolutely.
It was back and forth, an incredible game, an emotional game. And my goodness, look at Konstantinov, the top scorer for Madrid, with blood streaking down his face, tears streaking down his eyes.
They've literally given sweat, blood and tears. And Konstantinov had such a great game in this championship game. There he is. And for Real Madrid as a club, it's all about winning. We heard that in the interview yesterday from the head coach, Miguel Lopez, when he was interviewed after the final group game against Crvena Zvezda. He said, we're Real Madrid, we have to win. That is what this club is all about. And these young players, there is Konstantinov with the blood mingling with the sweat and the tears. They have won it, and they had to work so hard for it. And Diaye was so crucial throughout the tournament, and fitting that he would have a decisive say right at the end,
of course,
with the block on Ubal's attempted three-pointer that would have forced second overtime.
Well, your MVP is always going to show up in the biggest moments, and he has been the most valuable player of this tournament without question, not just in these last 4 days, dating back to qualifiers. And it's just, it's so fitting. We saw it yesterday with Naji with the block at the last second on Jovic. And then, here you go, look at that.
Vesa with I assume that's his parents who've come over from Estonia to support him. Emotional times for them as well. Just utter elation for Real Madrid. Well, you say that Ndiaye is the MVP. We'll see in a few minutes whether that's official. I'll be surprised if he's not, but we're going to have the presentations now. Firstly, we will have the all-tournament team. Then we will have the MVP for these finals. Then we will have the players from Real Madrid all individually presented with awards, and then finally the trophy presentation. So we'll see, Dane, whether it is Ndiaye, but it has to be, surely.
The tournament MVP you have to give to Ndiaye. If they're just giving it for the game, it'd go to Garuba. I'm sorry, but Garuba was incredible. He didn't have the most points. He might, I don't know the PIR.
He did have just
the highest. Did have the PIR. But it's incredible to see a player get that PIR by only scoring 13 points. That means he did everything else. Look at his stat sheet. It is incredible. He did not stop. And, oh, you hate to see that on the Barca bench. They don't deserve that feeling at all.
No, and here talking about Garuba is some of his key moments. This was Barca making it a three-point game through Nagy, who certainly doesn't deserve to be on the losing side.
What's the play that sticks out to your mind in Garuba's day?
The block,
of course.
Chasing back to deny
it was
Michael Caicedo.
If there was one defining play in this game, it was that right there. Such a swing in momentum, and it led to that celebration at the end of 45 minutes.
It's been a stunning game, as you said, Dane, one of the best basketball games you've seen, and I'll second that. One of the best games I've seen of any sport for a very long time. As we begin the trophy presentation, first of all, we'll present the 2020-21 Adidas Next Generation All-Tournament team. Presenting the award is Francisco Zapata, the Sport Marketing Manager of Adidas Iberia.
Big surprise here with the first announcement.
It is Eli Ndiaye who will take the place in that team. We've had 8 teams competing in Valencia over the last 4 days, and I'm pretty sure it won't only be the two finalists who are represented in the all-tournament team. The first 2 players are James Nagy, who can't bring himself to raise a smile. He'll be proud to take that accolade, being in the all-tournament team, but doesn't beat winning the trophy. Nice to see that moment between him and Ndiaye, though. As the third player to be announced, again, no surprise, Michael Caicedo, also a losing finalist. Again, reluctantly taking his award.
Bittersweet there for Caicedo.
The fourth player to be announced is the Mega Soccerbet Belgrade guard, Nikola Jurisic, who could very easily have been taking part in this championship game. It is Nikola Jurisic. And finally, the guard for LDLC Asvel Villeurbanne, Kimani Uinsu. And Asvel, likewise, could easily have been in the championship game. Asvel lost by 2 against Real Madrid
Yeah.
Mega lost by 2 against Barca. Both those games could have had different outcomes, and we would have had a different final.
Exactly. I mean, we were this close to having a completely changed final, and we probably would have had just as good of a game if Asvel and Mega were in this championship game as well. It was just a fantastic tournament from top to bottom. Day 1, we had some blowouts, and we said, uh-oh, what awaits us? And then days 2, 3, and 4 were just incredible. Everything that the tournament organizers were hoping for, dreaming of, and then received here in Valencia.
So the 5 players in the all-tournament team are Kimani Uinsu, Nikola Jurisic, Michael Caicedo, James Nagy, and Eli Ndiaye. Congratulations to them. Now we will find out who has been chosen as the most valuable player of this EuroLeague Basketball Adidas Next Generation Finals in Valencia. And presenting the award is Jose Puentes of Valencia Basket, and it is Eli Ndiaye, as it had to be. And Dane, our predictions were spot on. And you're a professional working here, but
sure.
You're a fan as well. And sitting next to me, you're clapping. That's the appreciation.
I just
for Ndiaye.
You have to give it up. I mean, it's an appreciation for Ndiaye. It's appreciation for Madrid. It's an appreciation for Barcelona. Everybody, if I could just go up and give dap to everybody, especially that man right there, the MVP of the tournament and the Adidas Next Generation Tournament Finals champion.
And look at the way his teammates and his coach appreciate him. What a talent. And he's only 16. It's not fair.
Oh, boy.
Remember the name. And now we will present the individual champion rings to the players from Real Madrid. Francisco Zapata from Adidas Iberia and Jordi Bertomeu, the EuroLeague president and CEO, will present individual rings to each of the Real Madrid players.
Let's get a close-up on those. I want to see one of those things. What are these bad boys looking like? They got any extras around
I
there?
was say, you don't just want to see them, you want to steal one.
Let me get one if they got a few more. I'll take Juan Nunez's. He's with the first team.
Take it back to him and then maybe forget to do it. But all these Real Madrid players played their part. It's such a demanding tournament, 4 games in 4 days, so the whole roster really does have to play the part.
No, they really did. And top to bottom, everybody played the part, from Ndiaye to the last guy on the bench. This was a team effort, and I mean, you just gotta tip your hat.
Jan Vide reacting with tears of joy as he puts the ring on his finger.
Let's see the bling. Flash it to us.
Jordi Bertomeu there handing over the rings to the Real Madrid triumphant players. And wow, he deserves it. His brother will be watching this game with a bit of jealousy, saying, wow, you set the standards for me
no
now.
Kidding.
Last few years I've been setting the standards for you, and now you've just raised the bar higher.
His brother's no stranger to the championship ring in the Adidas Next Generation Tournament. He was here in Valencia in the same situation, so they'll have a bit more hardware, a bit more bling, a bit more jewelry in the Garuba household.
A pretty talented family, it's fair to say, the Garubas, as now we just have one more trophy to be presented. Jordi Bertomeu, the EuroLeague president and CEO, will hand over the trophy to Garuba. Real Madrid can celebrate. Well, that's a memory to last a lifetime for these young players, who remember some of their colleagues as well with the T-shirt they've had printed up. That's the names of the players who've been with the team this season that didn't make it to Valencia. And a really lovely touch, and shows the team spirit you've got to have to win a tournament like this.
Yeah, it's just it's an incredible testament to how closely knit this team is, and that T-shirt right there for those who aren't here but deserve this trophy, deserve to be celebrating, just like those who are out on the floor here in La Fonteta.
Truly fantastic game, and spare a thought for Barcelona, obviously ending up on the losing side, but what an experience as well for all these young players, and it's just such a good tournament that players from all over Europe come together, and it gives them something new, something they won't have experienced in their domestic competitions, to play against teams from Belgrade and France and Serbia and through the qualifiers as well from all over Europe, and to have that experience to become better players, even in defeat as well as victory.
For Barcelona right now, it has to go down like poison, but I will tell you that in months, years' time, they'll look back at this as a magical day as well. Even though they didn't come back and win the trophy, this will be something that is a memory that they look back and smile upon. 20 years, 30 years, 50 years down the road, a game that they'll never forget. Unfortunately, they didn't come out on top, but it was a fantastic journey here, and up until the last second, they had their hands on the trophy, but it was just not their day.
That was the tale of the game, 81-78. Truly fantastic. And these Real Madrid players will have the winning bug now. They have tasted success and they want to taste more of it. This will motivate them to keep on winning. And for Barcelona, of course, they don't want to taste this experience again. They will want to make sure they come back next time, whatever tournament it is they're playing in, whether they have a chance to come back, some of the younger players, for next year's Adidas Next Generation tournament, or for some of the older players to move into the senior team. They will want to come back and make sure they don't have to feel that loss again. Real Madrid just overjoyed.
That's the image of the tournament.
That's the defining image, isn't it? Blood, sweat and tears. Elliot Ndiaye named the MVP of the tournament. He contributed again today, just short of a double-double, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals, and a block shot. As we see more images of the celebrations, and souvenirs will be had. Spaniolo there, back-to-back champion. Real Madrid won the last edition as well, back in Vitoria a couple of years ago. And they've taken the title here too. Dane, thank you for your company. Been great to have you alongside us.
It was an absolute pleasure, and I'm so glad my train got pushed back to 2 o'clock because I couldn't have missed this for the world. This was an incredible spectacle, and of course, always a pleasure sharing the mic with you. So, Andy, thank you so much for letting me join you on the broadcast, and thank you to Barcelona and Real Madrid, because this was a game I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Yeah, thank you indeed to these players for serving up a real treat. And all that remains now are a couple of interviews we will try to get from the winning side. We'll try to speak to the winning coach and one of the triumphant players as well. So we have the first interviewee ready now, Urban Klavza, the Slovenian guard, waiting to give his views on this game and this title.
Congratulations, Klavza. That was a great game. What was the key to getting the win?
Before the game, we talked about the whole year, how we were fighting, how we were working all together, and we wanted to win so hard because the guys have been working a lot, and we did some adjustments in defense because Barca has some great players who can score, and we did some adjustments, and then we just won it at the end.
That was the goal all season. How does it feel to be a champion?
Our goal was to win this, of course. It feels incredible. I'm lost of words. I don't know what to say. It's incredible.
This is Real Madrid's third Adidas Next Generation tournament title. What does it mean to you to help this club to win another trophy?
It's a huge honor to represent this club and to be the part of this club, to play for this club, and I'm so proud of everybody, of my teammates, from the coaching staff, from our bosses, from the guys who are like watching us, all the fans and all the parents that are supporting us, and we're so proud of ourselves.
And how will the team celebrate?
I don't know yet. I don't know. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Urban Klavza, what a game he had today and yesterday. And now we will get a chance to speak to Matteo Spagnolo, who made his first appearance of the tournament in the final today. Didn't play in the first 3 games through injury, but was able to play today. Matteo Spagnolo.
¿Empiezo? Congratulations. That was a great game. What was the key to getting the win?
I mean, we had to be together. We had to play together and enjoy the game. It's a final. It's a EuroLeague final. You don't play this all the time. So just having fun and play together, helping each other.
How does it feel to be a champion?
Feels amazing. I mean, we worked all year just for this, and through goods and bads, now we're here and we're champions.
What does it mean to you to help this club to win another trophy?
What?
What does it mean to you to help this club to win another trophy?
Everybody knows this is probably the best club, one of the best clubs in the world. So being able to win with this jersey, con este escudo, it's amazing.
And how will the team celebrate today?
How? I mean, I don't really know. I'm just enjoying right now with those guys. They're amazing. Each and every one of them give an amazing effort for us to win this championship.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, Matteo Spagnolo putting in a great effort today to come off his sick bed, having not been able to play in the first 3 games. And he was clearly struggling at times during the game, limping his way through some of the action, but he put in a big, big contribution. And now we'll hear from the winning coach, Real Madrid's head coach, Miguel Lopez.
I'm very happy.
Coach, it was a great battle. What do you think made the difference?
I don't know the difference. Amazing game, amazing teams. Congratulations, Football Club Barcelona. I think the most important is the players. The players. When the team start the tournament, the players think we can, and the result is win. Congratulations for everybody in Real Madrid. These players have ADN, Real Madrid. This is the Real Madrid.
How does it feel to have won this crown? Inside you, what do you think?
I don't know. It's amazing for me. It's amazing for my family. I don't know.
What can you say about the performance of the MVP?
Well, the MVP is a player, can play outside, inside, shoot, play one-on-one with dribble. In defense is all-time move, try to fakes, to rebound. It's an amazing player.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So total delight for Real Madrid, their coach Miguel Lopez and his players. Huge congratulations to them. Huge congratulations to everybody who's taken part here in Valencia over the last 4 days. It's been a fantastic Adidas Next Generation Tournament finals, and it's come to end with Real Madrid crowned champions. Goodbye from Valencia.